Hello, and welcome back to day 6 of the 10-minute Minecraft chat. Today, I think I kind of want to talk about just saying yes to things and, being open to not only change, but situations or experiences that you might not have ever thought that you'd be in. So, for me, personally, a big thing for that, I would say, is university. Obviously, I'm not saying go to university just for the experience. Obviously, go there to get your degree and stuff like that. But I think a massive part of university is 100% the experience. Almost more important than the degree, or as important. Reason why I say this. So before I went to university, I was very, very just by myself. I was very socially not wanting to do anything. I don't know the word to explain it. I know the word, but I can't think of the word at the moment. I didn't go out my room. I didn't really do anything. All I did was sit in. I played games. I'd play Rocket League. I'd play COD. I'd play FIFA all the time. It was like I didn't really want anything outside of that. And at this time, I broke my hand, and so it just kind of instilled that thing in me of just like, oh yeah, don't go outside because I'm gonna hurt my hand, and it's gonna fuck up my hand even more. I wasn't able to do stuff, so I was like, shit. Well, maybe I'll stay in, and then obviously, I was a sporty person before. I'd play football all the time. I'd play cricket, hockey, basketball. I played literally anything. I did a lot of cycling. I was a really, really good cycler, or really good cyclist. And then I broke my hand, and it kind of just, I don't want to say derailed my life because that's a bit fucking tragic, but like, it just stopped me from being able to do all the things that I was able to do. And I quickly became the person that was like, if I was invited out, I would instantly say no, and I wouldn't go, and I wouldn't do things. And obviously, that's my own doing. That's my own fault for the fact of saying no. I shouldn't have just said no. But I was scared. I was very scared. I was scared of hurting my hand. I was scared of doing things that I didn't want to do. And in all honesty, I was scared of being seen. Because, like I say, I was a very sporty person. I was doing something all the time. I was always moving. So I was naturally quite healthy, quite just fit because of the fact of I would do stuff. And then because of that, because of just stopping everything out of the fear of hurting my hand, I just gained a load of weight, and I was not in a good way whatsoever mentally, and I was stuck in my room. As I say, I was at my maximum. I was 128 kilograms, which is just fucking ridiculous to think at 18 years old is absurd. And I gained, oh my goodness, I couldn't even tell you how much weight in a year's time, purely because of the fact I didn't do anything, and I just wanted to stay inside. I just wanted to, be by myself and do my own thing. And it really fucked me up. It really did fuck me up because obviously I just didn't do anything. I just stayed inside. I didn't see the sun, and I think I definitely wouldn't be here right now if I continued that way. But at a certain point, I decided I need to change shit. I need to fucking sort something out. And one of my friends at the time, or a lot of my friends at the time, were all thinking about going to university, and I basically at the start was like, oh yeah, I'd like to go to university to go with my friends. That'd be quite fun. But then it quickly turned into the thing of, I want to go to university to sort my life out, pretty much. And that's what I did. I spoke to my lecturers at college, and I was just like, look, I'm thinking about going to university. Is there any way that I would be able to do this? They all said, yeah, there's a way. We can sort it out. And I did it. I made that leap. I made that choice to kind of change my life, and it was a fucking tough one, don't get me wrong, but I did it. And in the process of doing that, This is when my hand was more healed now. I got back into playing football again. And this is around COVID time, or just before COVID. I got back into playing football just before COVID, and so I lost a bit more weight with that. But then at the same time, I had a very serious chest issue, which I'm sure was probably from the weight, in all honesty, because of the fact of how big I was. But I then managed to lose I think it was about 55 kg within the space of like a year and a half, from COVID, pretty much, because of the fact I didn't go out and I couldn't afford anything. My parents got made redundant in both their jobs, unfortunately. So it was the thing of like, we didn't really have the money to have food. We didn't have the money to buy like shit and stuff like that. So it was a thing of I lost all the weight. And I went to uni weighing about 75 kg, which I was like, holy shit, I didn't expect that at the time. I thought I was like way more. I felt really good. I felt very confident. But that's the thing of like, I changed my whole fucking life around with that. I was in a really shit, and I'm in a really shit spot at that time where I didn't want to do anything, and I just said, yes, I need to change this. I need to change my life. I need to sort this out. And I did, in all fairness to myself. I mean, then being at uni, obviously it comes the challenge of meeting new people, and obviously from the previous experience I had with, I was just by myself the whole time, to then living with people. I mean, living with 6 random people that I'd never met before in my first year was it was the most daunting task I could think of in the fucking world. But I was kind of like, I just got to fucking do it. I just have to do it. And I always had the mindset of like, it's shit now, give it 2 months and it'll be fine. And I'll become best friends with these people. And I did. And I genuinely did. I put myself out there at every single opportunity I could. If anyone asked me to do something, I always would. And I remember one of my mates that I lived with in first year, and this is a guy that I met on the day. We just hit it off. We were really good friends. We both had really good music taste. We both played the same games, that kind of thing. And he's the first person that ever got me a drink as well. It was a Corona in his room. That was the first drink I ever had properly. So I appreciate that. But you know, he told me very early on, because I would sit in our kitchen with everyone and I would have AirPods in and I would just listen to music while we were all talking. And he told me that I basically needed to cut it out because other people thought I was weird for it, and I did instantly, and it just changed everything. I became best friends with the people that I lived with, to like people I would still call some of my best mates today. And it just got me in such a better space in terms of mentally, you know, finally having a friend group again at university, you know, not only that I live with, but then also that I do stuff with all the time. You know, we'd go out into our town or we'd go out into the city and really fucking enjoy it. We'd go on nights out, we'd go back to people's houses, kind of thing, and I truly cherish everything that happened with that, and I appreciate what happened with my friend telling me to just do that one simple thing of taking my AirPods out, and I did. And then from that, it obviously just grew into living with these people for 4 years, into, you know, truly caring for these people. You know, they were random people at one point in my life, and then all of a sudden they just became my best friends. And that's a perfect little scenario that happened for me. And that's because I just said yes. Because and I mean, it's not just one thing that I was like, yes, I'm going to say yes to one thing, but it's like, it's a whole snowball effect of things that I'd done to kind of put myself in that situation. You know, you know, putting on all that weight, losing all, like deciding I need to lose all this weight, I lost it all, and then from then on, deciding to go to university, deciding to, you know, take my AirPods out, deciding the people that I was going to live with. I didn't know them when I moved in, and it was a completely random thing that I didn't know how it was going to be. But, you know, I did it. I said yes to doing it all, and it's changed my life for the better. in a way that I can only, thank my past self for. Not to sound a bit cunty, I guess, but I appreciate that I've done that, and it's just the thing of trying to do more. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. So thank you for watching. If you've got anything in the comments, just let me know. I'll respond. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.